Hey, so there's this thing you really want to do or create or experience, but then you keep finding yourself saying, I'll do it
later.
And before you know it,
you're dead, you're dead, you're dead.
Why? Why do we put off stuff that's really important to us? Well, because you have a brain. And what do we do about it? That's what this tiny tip explores. This is Tiny Tips.
Tiny tips for your brain.
Tiny tips to help you rewrite your brain stories and rewire your brain so you could do more of the stuff you want to be doing. I'm Jocelyn, brain coach, and today's tiny tip, talk to Deathbed You. It's fun talking to yourself. We have a really hard time visualizing or relating to our future selves, but when we do, the research shows that we behave more ethically, responsibly, and empathetically. College kids who are shown 40-year-old versions of themselves are less likely to cheat on an exam. Yeah. And in one experiment, young people shown aged versions of themselves put nearly twice as much into retirement as the
norms.
Harvard psychologist Dan Gilbert says most people are pretty good at discerning how much they've changed in the past, say 10 years, but they consistently underestimate how much they'll change in the future. He calls this the end of history illusion, where we don't think things will change all that much, including ourselves. People thought the idea that trains or cars would replace horses was preposterous. Most people didn't think the telephone or radio or television or the internet would totally transform what came before and change what we view as normal. That's because our brains are constantly making sense of the world based on stuff it already knows.
The past is far behind us.
And it's what shapes our habits and behaviors today, which is why it can be so difficult to break out of these stories and habits and beliefs and make new changes that align to the future we want to create. If you've been watching my socials, you might already know that in top 5 regrets of the dying, end-of-life care nurse Brady, who worked with patients for several years in the last 12 weeks of their lives, says that the #1 regret of the dying, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life that was true to me, not the life others expected of me. Also topping the list, I wish I had the courage to express myself. I wish I'd spent more time with my friends. I wish that I'd let myself be happier. Where says that fear of change had them pretending to others and to themselves that they were content, when deep within, they longed to laugh properly and have silliness in their lives again. So because brain is wired to keep you safe and it's making judgments based on the past, again, it can be super tough to break out of old habits and ruts. And just pause
For a second.
Take 2 minutes to have a conversation with Deathbed You and ask that person, that future you, that you want to become, what they would tell you to do right now, today, before it's too late. Yeah, kitty.
Dead.